We're certain that man was pollarding trees over 3,000 years ago. In England, we found examples that are carbon dated back 3,400 years.
The Percheron is by all accounts the most famous horse in the world. It's a breed that's had an extraordinary global adventure.
Using my voice to guide the horse is like having an extra hand. Our hands are simply a confirmation of the order that we've given. That's all.
A land of lush greenery sat between Normandy and the Loire Valley, the Perche region has been built by man and by nature. A patchwork of orchards, meadows and hedges, the region's rural identity is strongly linked to its pollard trees. Dominique is fascinated by them and can read these trunks just like a book.
It's the memory of the tree which is recorded here. You can pretty much work out when they were last cut back and trimmed. I can see here it's about 60 years ago.
In the olden days, the tops of the trees were trimmed to allow the branches to grow back better. Today, the art of pollarding stems from that age-old know-how.
Pollarding is an art of pruning. It's like a thick copse of branches on top of the trunk. And just like an ordinary copse, whenever you prune it or cut it, it grows back taller so that it's not eaten by the herbivores. This is, after all, how the peasants grew their lumber or their wood to keep warm, and even for fodder. These trees were also called fields in the sky.
Pruning these trees also helps regenerate nature. It's a real little botanic miracle.
What will happen is we'll start to see some buds appear that will grow from the head of the tree and which then make a thicket.
It's a stroke of yesteryear genius, because these pollard trees also offer some hidden benefits for the environment.
Above all, it's sustainable, renewable, and local. It also binds the carbon to this landscape because the trunk is always there and gets fatter as the years pass. Then I'd say that the icing on the cake is the biodiversity, which these trees provide, housing all of these birds, bats, and insects. All of these things make these trees very much of our time.
Getting as close as he can to his row of trees, Dominique records their shapes, alignments and contortions with his pencil, an illustrated testimony of the genius of the peasantry.
It's part of our past that's threatened and fragile. We're perhaps seeing entire landscapes being wiped from our memory, and I think that recording all of this is very important. It's really an amazing part of our heritage.
The other emblem of this region is the Percheron, the ultimate workhorse. It built its legend by putting its muscles to work on the land around here. It's even said it originated from the pastures of the Saint-Jean castle in Nogent-le-Rotrou.
The Percheron horse originates from the Perche region, and to be more precise, from the land stretching along the Rhine River, which flows 100 kilometers up to Nogent-le-Rotrou. It was there that the Percheron horse started its global success story.
A photographer by trade, Jean Léo knows all about the epic journey of this horse that conquered the West.
Americans came in great numbers to this area to buy horses by the hundreds and then by the thousands. In the 1900s, we sometimes had as many as 3,000 which left for the United States. It was a great period for the Percheron breed, which went to populate the vast American plains that needed to be cultivated. This horse was the motor for American agriculture at the time.
Nowadays, the horse is back at work, helping the local market gardeners and horticulturers. But it's not unusual to find the trusty Percheron being used to shift logs in the region's forests as well.
It's true that the aesthetics are very important. It is a human being and a horse. The two go hand in hand. When people ask what the Perche horse is, I usually want to say that it's a rope.
The professional horseman uses just one rope. There's a large collar around the horse's neck, and the horseman guides the horse using small gestures, which are a kind of code.
The workhorse and the pollard tree. Both simple, successful and inspired ideas that look set to be used for a long time to come.
This environment has an extraordinary level of resilience, and we're able to find solutions based on the peasants' ideas, because they were the only methods they had at the time.
All these new uses, be it working in the forests, in the vineyards, or in agriculture, are of course ways of working that have been handed down from generation to generation through the centuries. And using workhorses is not simply a return to the past, it's actually something that also looks to the future.